Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features the top-scoring pass offense in the NFL. The Dolphins are top 10 in passing TDs, and they'll go against the Steelers, who are very aware of what they'll be dealing with. So with kickoff approaching, let's send it over to our commentators here this afternoon, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to rain-soaked Miami, Florida. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback. It's the Princeton man. This is Spencer Ware. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Second down following the run. They're going to look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Bruce Irvin is an emotional, passionate player who lives to rush the quarterback.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
In your face.
Let's go! Green 39!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, and none other than Cam Newton.
In 2015, he had one of the great seasons ever by a quarterback in the NFL. A threat to throw it, a threat to run it, became a terrific leader, and led his team to a Super Bowl appearance.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Strong left. Strong left.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. So we've got a 2nd and 5. They'll try the air now with Newton. He's got time in the pocket. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And a look at the starters for the Miami defense.
Desmond Trufant has made a great reputation in a short amount of time in the NFL. A lockdown corner that most teams don't attempt to try.
Five yards to gain here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. He's got time. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Malcolm Mitchell out of the University of Georgia. So on 4th down, here's Brandon Fields to kick this one away. Back deep, Julian Edelman. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They'll run now with Ware. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
They'll set up a throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's John Ryan now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. This will be fielded at the 17.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 3 yards remaining here on 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score, and we'll be back to South Florida after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon. It's Steeler football. They're going to get in quarter number 2. They got a 2nd down and 5 here to start things out. To throw on 2nd down, it's Newton. Man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Here's Newton now on second down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Newton on third down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. So on fourth down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. This from 54 yards away. The play clock's running down. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yeah, and in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Here's John Ryan now as he'll kick it away for the second time.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer
this time?
Get a little closer. Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And the man who helped Florida State to a national title in 2013, Devontae Freeman, reeling off a nice run.
I remember when he came out of school and I was evaluating him for the NFL draft. I loved a lot of his game. Run it, catch it, block. But I loved how hard he played. He played every play as if it were his last, and that ran him to the Pro Bowl after the 2015 NFL season.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with Larry Ridley for highlights and analysis of our first half of play. Not too many highlights yet, at least in terms of scoring plays, that is.
Yeah, but hang in there. We might get something these last 2 minutes.
On second down, here's Newton. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. On first down, Newton. And his throw here's incomplete. Eric Decker, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down. second down now after the incompletion. Back to the air, Newton on second down. Caught left side, Hopkins. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DeAndre Hopkins, his third time. Back on the field, and 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those dumb quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
They run it here. Where? And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll set up a throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Steve Smith that time. And it's second down. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Finds Roberts left side. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He finds Roberts complete. They give him 12 yards and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And caught right side, Green. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Here we go.
Here we go now.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Green's got it over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Down, he'll drop to throw it. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Back to throw again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed busted short. It's no good. So the long field goal attempt winds up awry, and we have reached the intermission. As we send you up to Orlando, and with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Larry Ridley.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. Both the Dolphins and the Steelers haven't had a reliable run game so far. The push up front has not been there, and you have to give credit to both defenses on that front. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Steelers now late in the second. Newton would squeeze the pass in here, and this long run goes for a touchdown. Staying late in the second, that puts them up by a touchdown. The quick pass and completion is made. He ends up picking up a yard before heading out of bounds. Staying late in the half, Irvin's able to zero in on the QB here. This will go as a loss of 5. So that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back down to Miami for the start of the second half.
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
To throw is Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end, and it's third down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here's Brandon Fields now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers defense, we watch them get set to go. A big reason why this defense is pitching a shutout, they have been bringing the lumber.
And think about how they've been playing and putting themselves in a position to do it. Fundamentally sound, covering all the gaps, whether we call it run fits when it's the running game, making sure they're locking down on the pass receivers, and that puts them in a position to be aggressive when they tackle.
This is Ware looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain, and it's second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They run again with Ware. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during the game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3. looking pass. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Back to throw, Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Brandon Fields now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a second game now, Charles. What do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a bounce back was going to happen this week. They were very confident in the game plan, thought the defenses they would see would present great opportunities for big-time runs. We're not getting that so far. I don't know if it's the game plan or if they're just being overwhelmed by the defense they're facing. We just saw them hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
So it'll be 2nd and goal when we return. We've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Again, it'll be Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Forbath will put this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's caught over the middle by the tight end, Green. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Let's go. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Looking to throw. Jackson's got it over the middle. And they're able to get this one down to the 25.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll look to throw here. And caught right side, Green. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Back to throw here. It's caught on the right side at Smith. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. 4th quarter, 2-minute warning about to hit, and it looks like they're going to get one more play in.
Be interesting to see what they try and do on this play. Do they try and take a shot, or do they just try and get to the 2-minute warning?
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. So a 3rd and 8. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The veteran Nate Washington, the man he was looking for. And 4th down coming up. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 39. And Gano's kick is right through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So you knew one way or another that you needed 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll need to get the ball back.
So, Brandon, the question is, how do you accomplish that? You can onside kick it, or remember, since you've got all 3 timeouts, you can still kick it deep and try to play defense.
And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
A beautiful spin and room to run. He's at the 40, past the 20. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Holding offense.
And that one is going to set the offense back. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. Yeah. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, they'll run with Freeman. They showed off a nut. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. Newton to throw. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. This is Freeman. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Pittsburgh, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. And with that, we sign off from Miami.